Okay, well, welcome to the Contour community meeting for June 16th. Hi to everybody, and as always, we've got the usual code of conduct stuff. Please abide by it during this meeting. Okay, so James, I think I'll swap the order of these two things around. Let's talk about security releases.
Okay, so there was a Envoy 1.14.2, I think, security patch come out the other day for a HTTP2 settings DOS issue. So we haven't done a 1.15.1 release to upgrade that, and we have a contributor who's interested in pushing that release. So they just wanted for us to talk and get confirmation that we do want to do that release before I kind of set Tim free on that.
Yeah, I think we should absolutely do a release. I think we pretty much should almost always do a point release where it's where we just change where we do the minimum amount that we need to change to do the Envoy version. Hopefully that should be zero code changes most of the time, and it should just be changing the Envoy version in the example deployment YAMLs.
Cool. We'll go ahead. That should be. I'll talk to Tim. We'll get on that. We should be out by the end of the week.
Yep. Great.
Is this? I think I saw a note. So this Envoy, did we get advanced disclosure for these Envoy ones, or did you just go blasted out and we're gonna notify like everybody else?
Yeah. So we are on the non-public disclosure list for Envoy, a couple of us, and we did get advanced funding list.
I don't think I got it for this particular one, but maybe I missed. Maybe I missed it, but I don't recall getting advanced for this.
I missed it.
Oh, for 14.2? Okay.
I'll come back and check.
Yeah, sounds good. I was just wondering if we had a heads up. I mean, yeah. So if we're gonna release 1.5.1 soon enough, then that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that seems to answer everything. So yeah, the other big thing I wanted to mention was yeah, I'm in the process of removing all the IngressRoute code. The idea is that IngressRoute will be completely gone in 1.6, which is due out in like a week and a half or so. So yeah, I'm just smashing through as much of that as quickly as possible.
Okay, so on the security release side of that, so hypothetically, would we do security release if we had to do another security release? Would we do that as 1.6.1, given that we're removing IngressRoute, or should we consider doing a 1.5 something?
If you're asking you're asking for the folks that don't want to. So once we ship 1.6, you know, given that we don't have a long-term servicing channel, or we actually don't have any servicing channel whatsoever, I think that once we actually ship 1.6, then we're gonna have to make a release decision if we're gonna patch previous versions. We may do it once, maybe twice max, but we may not do it at all. Like if we were successful of upgrading all people to 1.6, or at least not giving significant pushback from any customers, then you know, here's how it's going to play out, right? Let's say 1.6 ships in June 25, and IngressRoute is gone, and then let's say July 4th we get an Envoy security fix, and we have to ship 1.6.1. Once we actually ship it and publicize it, we're going to hear from customers if one says, hey, are you not going to make this available on 1.5.1? And then we're going to have to make that decision. And it is possible we might do it once or twice, but we'll do it and tell them, okay, we're doing it this time, but you need to upgrade to 1.6 because 1.5 is no longer maintained.
Yeah.
That sounds fair. I'd be sympathetic. I'm sympathetic to doing it across the transition boundary. I'm sympathetic to help people get across that boundary. So I think doing it for a short period of time is...
And the advantage is we'll do it after people ask us. That way we know who's looking for it. That way we can help them migrate.
Yeah.
I think that's fairly fair.
Yep, that sounds fair to me. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good to me too. Yeah, but I think as long as we're clear that we're not going to do this all the time. I'll put shortly after Contour 1.6 is released.
Yeah, just on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, we want to force customers to tell us that they're doing that. That way we know about it, we can help them and kind of manage it rather than just doing it blindly.
Yeah.
To us, it's not a lot of cost, but also we want to move them over the hump, right? So knowing about it allows us to have a conversation. We also get to interact with the community a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, James. I thought, my bad. I had marked this one off as finished. Yeah, but I was pretty much done with the IngressRoute removal anyway. It's going to be gone. That's it. Yeah. That's pretty much it for the moment. We're just pretty busy, between doing that, and yeah, I've just been full time on IngressRoute removal. James, is there anything you want to talk about that you're actually working on?
Not really. I'm starting to look at Auth. One thing that I would like to put in the notes, though, is that there's some interest in the Helm chart. I have a VMware person and an external contributor who have both expressed interest in doing it. There's no movement on that yet, but if people are interested, then it's something that I'm interested in shepherding and helping people get landed. So there's a PR, there's an issue with the names of people who are interested, and basically we just need to keep helping those people move forward.
Yeah, I saw some of the going back and forth on Slack, so on email, so from GitHub, so that's great. Hopefully one of those folks kind of picks this up and does it. James, as a corollary, any update on the auth work? Like how's that coming along? Any?
I'm still exploring. So I'm exploring like how I think the design should be. So I'm just getting to the point where I'll propose a design. So it's kind of pre-design, poking around at the moment.
Is there a date by which you're planning to propose that, or just it's coming basically?
It's coming. I didn't have a date in mind, but this later in the week or next week probably.
Okay.
Something a bit more concrete.
Sounds good. And then Nick, you want to talk a little bit about the roadmap that we added?
Yeah, so I think we mentioned this last time that we've added a roadmap.
Yeah, that was in the US community meeting. So like,
yeah, sure, of course. I forgot that I was up at ungodly o'clock that time. So yeah, we've added a roadmap. It is available where Michael is showing you right now. I will put a link in the put a link in there. So yeah, but the important parts to see. Yeah, I'm working on part of removing IngressRoute is actually about working on the status information. IngressRoute blocks adding more fancy stuff to status for HTTP proxy, because currently we need to support both code paths. And then the next one after that is James's auth thing, and yeah, and the other sort of close in one is Ingress v1 support. Then after that, we're going to start looking at exposing more Envoy configuration knobs, rate limiting support, access log service, wildcard path matching, and the Helm chart is marked down as October because that's when, if just the maintainers were looking at it. But as James said, if we've got other contributors who are interested in doing that, then that can come in much sooner. This roadmap, I guess it's probably worth saying that this
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, sorry, continue, Nick.
I was going to say this roadmap is kind of spec'd out on the assumption that we have the people who are currently working on Contour only. The more resources we get, the quicker we can make some of this stuff happen. If you really want one of these things, then yeah, you can totally work on it. Just talk to us first and tell us how you want to do it, and then we can work with you to shepherd it, as James says.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is that this is kind of this is not set in stone. This is a goal, an aspiration, and kind of gives folks an idea of where the project is headed and a relative timeline for when we might make some of these investments. If someone is interested in contributing and making one of these things come earlier, we'll be jumping up and down and help enable you. And more importantly, it kind of signals to all the outsiders, when can they expect certain functionality in Contour. Some priorities could change, so there's going to be a living document. So every month or so, we might revisit it and see if any of these things changed, and we'll have to update them. And obviously, as things get delivered, we'll cross them off the list.
Okay.
And let me add this. That's it on that.
I already put it.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So, James, Michael, is there anything else from you guys?
Nothing else from me. We're getting one more core contributor to Contour, but I don't see him online right now. I just pinged him asking him if he has all the Contour meetings. So we'll maybe he'll get introduced next week. So we're adding more resources to Contour, and hopefully that's going to help us accelerate our timeline and keep delivering value on top for our customers and users.
Yep. I guess we've only got one other one VMware person. Makai, is there anything you wanted to talk about?
No, nothing from me. Thanks.
Great. Well, I guess we should call it there. Thanks very much, everybody, and we will see you all next week.
Absolutely. Thank you all.